Hello everyone and welcome to Lithuania, where you join us in the basketball crazy city of Kaunas at the Žalgirio Arena, the venue for the 2023 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. And that is the prize that is up for grabs at the conclusion of this festival of basketball. Semi-final A features AS Monaco at Olympiacos Piraeus. AS Monaco in just their second season in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague, and what a meteoric rise they have enjoyed to make it through to the Final Four stage. We're going to hear from their head coach Sasha Obradovic and the hometown boy Donatas Motiejunas, competing in a Final Four in front of friends and family. Well, as for Olympiacos Piraeus, they enjoyed a fantastic run through the regular season, earning their first standings leaders finish at the conclusion of a regular season campaign. They've got the Alexander Gomelski Coach of the Year, they've got the standings leaders, and indeed the MVP, Sasha Vezenkov. It's been a magnificent run through to the Final Four. We're going to hear from their head coach, Georgios Bartzokas, and their captain, Kostas Papanikolaou. So you join us at the Žalgirio Arena in Kaunas, and we are live as Olympiacos Piraeus prepared to take on AS Monaco in semi-final A of the 2023 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. Both teams playing red and white, but let me tell you, that upper deck has been occupied by an overwhelming majority of Olympiacos Piraeus fans, and they're looking to make their presence felt. As we look at some bracketology, you can see our focus of attention will be on the fixture on the left-hand side. We've got another installment of El Clasico in the second semi-final, but Olympiacos Piraeus facing off against AS Monaco. They have so much recent history. Prior to 2 seasons ago, they didn't meet at all, but yet they have met 9 times over the previous 2 campaigns, because remember, the playoff series last campaign went to a 5th and deciding game. AS Monaco enjoying a regular season clean sweep of Olympiacos Piraeus this campaign. Well, let's take a look at their key players. My name's Ronald McIntosh, I'll be your lead commentator, and EuroLeague legend and champion Joao Lucas alongside us for insightful analysis and co-commentary. And Jordan Lloyd, you suspect crucial to AS Monaco's fortunes, Joe.
Ron, welcome to Kaunas. And yeah, Jordan Lloyd is so important, but so is the inside game for Monaco, because Donatas Motiejunas, who's right here in his hometown, on top of it, is a guy that's looking to dominate in the paint. We know about Mike James, we know about Jordan Lloyd, but they're looking to control the paint also.
As for Olympiacos Piraeus, they are the statistical leaders in just about every key category, with the exception of offensive rebounds, where AS Monaco have the edge, but they have so many weapons, because not only do they fill it up offensively, they're the league's stingiest defense as well. There is Sasha Vezenkov, the newly minted MVP, as well as the Alexander Gomelski scoring leader, averaging 17.2 points per game, and he's had an outstanding campaign, Joe.
Incredible season, and you know he's still thinking about last year's Final Four, where he had a tough semifinal game and lost that big one against Efes.
And on the inside, we've got Mustafa Fall locking down the paint. and doing such a terrific job on the glass as well.
Incredible in the playoffs, Ron. He stepped it up a notch. 8 points, seven rebounds a game. He even got 2.6 assists a game, so he's distributing the ball also. Foul is going to be a huge play for Olympiacos.
And the head-to-head is between two of the premier playmaking guards in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. Both men possessing ice water in their veins and want the ball when the game is on the line.
And that you just stole my line, Ron, right there. These two guys can do it throughout the game, but you know in the last 2 minutes of the game, that's who you want the ball in their hands, Mike James and Kostas Loukas.
Well, Kostas Loukas in the top Final Four lists in so many categories as we take a look at the roster for AS Monaco. And again, in terms of assists, Olympiacos the #1 in the EuroLeague, Joe, but AS Monaco with such talent, they can get hot and fill it up from anywhere in a hurry.
Yeah, they get hot from anywhere. You get guys that can shoot the ball from the outside. You talked about Olympiacos, the way they move the ball. They're so well. They spread out the floor so well offensively, and they're so hard to defend. They switch a lot on defense, too, as you look at Olympiacos' lineup right there on the bottom of your screen. Welcome, one of the best defenders in the league, leading the league in steals. And then you got Black in the middle when Fall goes out. So these guys, and let's not forget about McKissick. McKissick is one of those guys that is just a game maker. At any point of the game, he can turn around with a 10-0 run all on his own.
Well, let's take a look at the team comparison between the sides then. Very little in between them in terms of points on the board. Olympiacos with just 0.2 points per game more. But look at the disparity on the defensive side of the ball, Joe. Olympiacos Piraeus conceding 6.6 points per game fewer, really locking down at the defensive end for that #1 spot.
Yeah, and that's the way they get out and run. They like to play in that static offense as you look at the rebounds, but defensively, they get those defensive rebounds. That's when they get out and run the floor a little bit and spread out defenses.
So we're going to pause and enjoy this pre-game show here at the Zhalgiris Arena. Just under 7 minutes remaining until the opening tip of this first semi-final in the 2023 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. Enjoy the show. So the respective head coaches make their way towards half court. You see confirmation of the sharing of club colors, red and white. Pennants exchange between the two, and very little in between their head-to-head in this, their 10th game. And again, all of them coming over the past couple of seasons for the teams, and see how close it is on the head-to-head coaches rivalry.
Yeah, but did you happen to notice that 3-0 advantage in the Final Four, though?
Yes, indeed.
That's where Coach Bartzokis has all the advantage.
So let's take a look at the past champions in the modern era. You see Olympiacos Piraeus with their back-to-back successes in 2012 and 2013. Their first title coming in 1997. In stark contrast, AS Monaco in just their second EuroLeague season and have already progressed through the rigors of the playoffs and are here one win away from the championship game. So let's take a look at the starting fives then. For AS Monaco, the designated away team is Jordan Lloyd, Nyakubu Ouattara, and Mike James, making it a three-guard backcourt. John Brown and Donatas Motayunas, a two-man front line. So plenty of mobility in that starting five for the visitors.
Yeah, both guys are used to starting for.
Walk-up cannon in a two-man backcourt. Sasha Vezenkov, Kostas Papanikolaou, and Mustafa Fall, a three-man front line. So Olympiacos going for greater size on their starting five to contest the opening tip.
Yeah, but they have two guys, Ron, and Vezenkov and Papanikolaou can spread the floor very well and get outside and hit the three. So even though they're a bigger lineup up front, they're still a team that's going to spread up in the floor and be able to stick that three from deep, which is going to give Brown and Motayunas a little bit of a problem defensively because they're going to have to come out of that comfort zone of being in the paint all game long.
So Mike James will be coming as one of a three-guard backcourt. Final handshake between Sasha Obradovic and Boris Rizic. One of the three officials will be taking charge of this one. There's the Olympiacos captain, Kostas Papanikolaou. So much experience under his belt. He was part of that brace of winning teams in 2012 and 2013. So too, Kostas Sloukas. As the players make their way out to center court as we prepare to pause for the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague anthem. There is Boris Rizic, the crew chief of the men who will take charge of this one. And again, how they call the game and how the players adapt to it going to be absolutely crucial in determining the outcome and the flow. So fist bumps and high fives exchanged between the respective starting fives, also the officials as well. And now each player will go through their final moments of introspection and pre-game preparation. We are indeed at the Final Four here in the Žalgirio Arena, the first time that Lithuania has hosted this fantastic end-of-season finale. And there is the #1 man in terms of performance index rating. Look at those numbers that he's produced, Joe, underlining his consistency.
Impressive numbers by far. He's had an incredible season, and he's been looking forward to this game almost a full year, 365 days. But Ron, I was talking about, before we jump it up here, we're about to jump it up here. Watch out for this walk-up Mike James to start off the game. It's going to be real important to stop James early on.
So the opening tip is up. It was seemed to be controlled by AS Monaco, but recovering possession is Thomas Walkup for Olympiacos. Papanikolaou, three-man weave at the top of the key as Cannon bobbles it out of bounds. Isaiah Cannon just losing control of the rock. Yeah, and perhaps the occasion and a little bit of nerves on these opening possessions.
But a lot of physicality early on, and the referees did not make a call yet, and a lot of bumping and grinding when the ball's on the floor. So keep an eye on that, see if the players play up to the referee. Look at that.
Picking the pocket, Kostas Papanikolaou is off to the races. Mike James hustling back, and his hustle rewarded by breaking up the play. But Olympiacos retain it and get themselves a recycled 14 on the second opportunity. Nice pass from the high post. Sasha Vezenkov fouled in the act of shooting, the foul called against Mike James. So nervy start by both teams, turning over the basketball. It'll be a trip to the free throw line for Sasha Vezenkov.
But we talked about Fall being a distributor from down in the low post and also from the top of the key. And you see him, the big man, playing smart basketball IQ right there, seeing the mismatch between Vezenkov and James. Not only does that put Vezenkov on the line, but gives James a first foul of the game early on here.
Sasha Vezenkov, 88% from the free throw line this campaign. And Joe alluded to the fact that Mustafa Fall stepped up his production during the postseason. All of his numbers improved, including an outstanding 2.6 assists from the post, as Vezenkov goes 1 of 2 from the stripe.
Live rims, it looks like right now. The ball's banging off those rims and rolling around, so try to get those nerves out as soon as you can.
Mike James down to the defensive halo, kicks it out. Yakuba Watara with the fake. Driving back out to the half-court logo. Lloyd rotates it to James. James with his quickness by Kostas Papanikolaou. Clever offload and a delightful finish off the window from John Brown III, drawing a foul on the shot-blocking presence of Mustafa Fall, and he'll go to the free throw line looking to add one more.
That's exactly what Mike James does. He causes havoc when you let him penetrate, and you have to let him penetrate because you know he can knock down the 3 at any time, and he finds Brown cut on the baseline. And that's where you have to be active if you're a big man, because you know Mustafa Fall is going to come out and try to block those shots.
John Brown, 70% from the free throw line during the regular season. During the season, couldn't get it to fall, so unable to complete the three-point play. 5 of 6 from the stripe during the postseason was John Brown, as Cannon has used his dribble, rotates it back to Walkup. Vezenkov puts Jordan Lloyd on his back. How about that for flying in from the weak side from John Brown III to break up that interior pass to Mustafa Fall. Mike James leaving his feet. Donatas Motiejunas for 3, and it's an air ball. My goodness, missed everything.
Yeah, but he was 2 for 4 in the playoffs, Ryan. He'll shoot the 3. He's not afraid to shoot it. The big lefty will put it down. That's not going to affect his confidence whatsoever. I can tell you that right now.
So Cannon, just over a minute and a half gone, pulls up for 3 off the front iron. Rebound secured by Jordan Lloyd. So Mike James protecting the basketball, clutching it into his abdomen. John Brown setting a screen, double team on the basketball, and James. John Brown from the elbow, pulls up off the back iron. Donatas Motiejunas with the board, kicks it back out to Mike James at the half-court logo. Motiejunas setting a screen. Mike James pulling up for 3. Did he have his feet beneath him? Didn't appear to. Ball loose, ultimately secured by Papanikolaou.
A lot of long rebounds on the shots, from the deep shots, Ryan. You're talking about live rims right out here right now. You see the ball rolling around the rim. It's real important in these situations that the guards stick around, trying to help the big man get those rebounds around the foul line position.
Remember, AS Monaco, the #1 offensive rebounding team in the competition, hauling in 12.3 per game. But Olympiacos, the better rebounding team overall, with, just behind him in terms of overall rebounds, but Olympiacos an outstanding defensive rebounding team. So deep three-pointer off the front rim. Papanikolaou with the follow, but too strong on his putback attempt. So Jordan Lloyd to John Brown, who attacked the elbow, kicks it back out to the perimeter. Pulling up on the edge of the lane and getting the floater to go is Jordan Lloyd. And it's a 4-0 run for AS Monaco to give them a 3-point lead.
Yeah, Slukas with Papanikolaou with another open look down low that just rolled around the rim. So either the ball's pumped up a little bit too much or the rims are live right now, but you got to make sure that goes in like Lloyd just did.
Vezenkov, deep 3, missed but off left by some distance. Yakuba Watara with the board. Now it's Mike James running into a pincer movement. John Brown manages to hook him up with the rock once again. Euro step down the lane. Mike James too strong. How about that for delicate touch from Donatas Motiejunas?
Cutting through the lane again, taking advantage of the help by Mustafa Fall and getting a break just like John Brown did earlier, knocking it down.
So a run of 6 points without reply posted by AS Monaco. Olympiacos still looking for their first field goal. Kicked out to the corner. Isaiah Cannon for 3, and he connects. All of a sudden, it's a 1-score game. It took 3 minutes and 40 seconds or thereabouts, but Olympiacos have their first field goal on the board. Isaiah Cannon with the corner three.
And that first one always feels good. And again, no matter how live the ball is, if you don't touch the rim, it's going straight through the net like that one did by Cannon. And that was a good, I was upset with the look by Fall because I figured they need to get the ball inside and get some easier looks, but he did find Cannon wide open in the corner. Cannon looked, you see the help defense coming from James on that side, and Cannon gets the wide open shot, not quick enough rotation defensively. And Monaco's been solid so far in these first 4 minutes defensively.
Isaiah Cannon, 56% from 56% from three-point territory in the playoffs. An outstanding game, remember, where he exploded in playoff game 1, 6 of 7 from deep as Jordan Lloyd, mid-range mastery.
So hard to stop that offensively. He comes around the pick, finds his spot, and just jumps up over his defender.
So 2-3 matchup zone being played by AS Monaco, looking to peg Olympiacos back towards the halfway line. Cannon, quick pass to the corner. Kostas Papanikolaou fouled on a three-point shot. He'll go to the stripe for 3 free throws, just as that fan is indicating up in the stands here.
Yeah, that's a rotation. Again, they just got beat on that rotation earlier by Cannon in the corner. Ball goes in the middle, works around the outside to the corner, and Papanikolaou takes advantage, shooting it from deep and going to the line now for 3 shots. And he's gonna love getting there because he's missed 2 layups already tonight. So he wants to see this ball go through the net a couple times.
Kostas Papanikolaou, 16 out of 16 from the free throw line during the playoffs, but he's missed that one.
Did you see the top 5? These guys 16 for 16, but Zenkov also. These guys didn't miss any free throws throughout the playoffs. It was amazing.
Absolutely incredible shot making.
You saw that look right there on Papanikolaou's face as that one finally went in. He had that look on his face like, man, it's about time. I heard a little bit of nylon down there.
So it's a 1-score game once again. As Mike James sees Thomas Walkup waiting to pick up half-court D. Motiejunas on the cut, footwork down low. Oh, that's delightful low post play. Step through and finish with the left-handed hook over Mustafa Foul. 4 points in the game for Motiejunas.
Yeah, little spin cycle action there, and they're taking it right at Foul tonight. They want to go right at the lane, try to get him to foul trouble or get him out of position defensively.
Walkup kicks to Cannon, extra pass to the corner. Behind the back goes Papanikolaou. Bounce pass. Can't get the follow, ball still live. Good battling Mike James and AS Monaco to secure possession. So James using the screen from Motiejunas. Matchup B being played by Olympiacos as Thomas Walkup bumps Jordan Lloyd too aggressively.
That's great read by Jordan Lloyd right there. He sees Walkup coming from the backside and goes right back at him. He's got Walkup on his toes coming forward, takes advantage of it and picks up the fouls. We got a little break in action here, Ron, with Monaco up 4, 10-6.
Right, we're feeling really, really generous. So here is your first shot.
So it's another installment of El Clasico in our second semi-final here at the Jalgirio Arena. But here and now, Olympiacos Piraeus and AS Monaco in a 2-score affair. Olympiacos Piraeus took the opening score by making a free throw, but it took them 3 minutes 40 or thereabouts for their first field goal to fall. They've yet to lead in this game. As we take a look at the all-time points leaders, Mike James closing in on La Bomba. So, sideline possession put straight into the hands of Isaiah Cannon, gifted by John Brown III, turnover, and an easy pick for Isaiah Cannon. Olympiacos' third steal of the game. Walk up. Nice catch, Papanikolaou inside to Mustafa Foul. Footwork down low, spinning free of his man, but he's traveled, picking up that pivot foot. Turnover is the result.
Yeah, that second fake was a little bit too much to get by the big man. Give Mountaineers great position right here defensively. He made Fall have to extend that left foot a little bit longer. Great call by the referee. You know, we talk a lot about Olympiacos' defense throughout this pregame, but it's Monaco who's playing some great defense.
So Thomas Walkup called for the foul, and that's his second in the first quarter. Will Coach Bart Zokas leave him out there? But remember, he plays such aggressive on-ball defense that it's probably prudent to sub him out and bring in, well, a man with there's no drop-off at all in quality, because it's Kostas Lukas checking in for his first action tonight.
Possibly whatever you lose defensively, you pick up offensively, and you pick up on control of the game, because Lucas knows how to control this rhythm of the game right now. He sees his team's not into the rhythm they're usually in, so he's going to be the one that's going to try to mastermind this, get his team back into the way that Olympiacos likes to play basketball, moving, a little bit more space and offensively.
So Mike James inbounds to Jordan Lloyd. Lloyd, pull up three, off the back iron. Strong rebound, Mustafa Foul, and he was so strong with it that he's drawn the foul on Alpha Diallo, who has just checked into the game. That's his first.
And you see the difference there. This time Fall doesn't come out. And Lloyd, you don't want to give Lloyd that three all day long, but Fall gave him a little bit of a fake, didn't come out. So Fall set back, picked up the miss and got the rebound, and Olympiacos picks up the foul.
So just under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Low scoring encounter thus far in this first semi-final. Papanikolaou calling for a screen from Mustafa Foul. Papanikolaou to the elbow. Slukas drives baseline. Back out to the perimeter. Extra pass to Kostas Papanikolaou. Good look at the bucket. Can't get it to fall. Outstanding effort by Jordan Lloyd to keep the pesky presence of Isaiah Cannon away from the rock.
Then what we saw right there was Olympiacos basketball. Moved the ball well. They got a great shot out of it. Papanikolaou just can't convert.
Tough look at the bucket and drawing a foul. Now, what's going on over on the sideline? Because Mike James hanging in the air, drawing the foul on Isaiah Cannon. That's his second. So Thomas Walkup called for 2 first quarter fouls. Now Isaiah Cannon joins him in that regard. Shoulder charge from Mike James, but the body control sees him draw the foul against Cannon.
Yeah, on the way up, Cannon gets a little piece of that arm, but as you said, it could have gone both ways, because James, normally what a point guard does when he gets by his players, takes that step back to create the contact, and that time he maybe put his shoulder down a little bit too far, but got up and over the top of Cannon. He gets a piece of that arm and sends James to the line for 2.
Well, there is not only a Final Four ambassador, but a legend for Žalgiris Kaunas, Paulius Jankūnas, standing on the boards as Mike James goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Mike James, number 2 in the EuroLeague, sinking 4.3 free throws per game. Olympiacos being doubled up, trailing by 6. As again, field goals proving very difficult to come by. They've scored just 1 field goal, and that was a 3-pointer from the corner by the man handling the basketball now. He's weaving his way through traffic, and he's drawn a foul en route to the bucket. He'll go to the free throw line for 2, because I think this has been called in the act of shooting.
Yeah, Ron, you have to be concerned if you're for the Greek side right now. Like you said, 1 field goal here in the first 7 minutes, only 6 points. In the 2 matchups this year that they played against each other, they've only averaged 68 points a game, 76 at home and 60 on the road. So they've struggled offensively against this team. We talked a lot about Monaco being able to take advantage of them offensively, but also defensively.
So here's the EuroLeague president, outstanding player in his day as well, Dejan Bodiroga, enjoying the action here in what is a very cagey affair. Isaiah Cannon off the mark with his first free throw attempt and can't get the roll on either. Isaiah Cannon, 78% from the free throw line this campaign, didn't go to the stripe in the playoffs and missed his first 2 there. So James, top of the key, looked at the shot, didn't commit. Cannon playing with 2 fouls. James takes it to him, splits the gap, kick to Olympiacos off the front rim. Strong rebound from the Olympiacos captain.
Yeah, shooting percentages are not well tonight. Both teams struggling from deep especially, but they'll get that rhythm down. A little bit of first quarter nerves in the semifinal.
0-4 for the visitors. And the lone field goal for Olympiacos has come from deep, from this man. Beats Mike James with the dribble move. Floater is good, and Isaiah Cannon moves to 5 points in the game, makes it a 2-score affair.
You can't give that lane to James.
Akobo beneath the free throw line, hangs in the air off the back iron. What an offensive rebound from Dante Hall. He's now on the edge of the defensive halo. Ball back out to the perimeter. Mike James, deep three-pointer, and drops it right into the eye of Isaiah Cannon. Mike James with the trifecta, and it's a 7-point lead for AS Monaco.
Now, when you see that James has been quiet throughout this first quarter, that's the last thing you want to see as a defender, is that deep three.
So, drive and kick to the corner, and Sasha Vezenkov connects from downtown. Sasha Vezenkov, 39% on this campaign from long range in his MVP season, brings his team back to within 4. So Mike James looking for back-to-back threes, and he is feeling it. Mike James heating up here in the first quarter, and he's talking to Isaiah Cannon as well.
I told you, if you're Cannon, you did not want to see that first one go down. James is a streak shooter. He's allowed to make 3 or 4 in a row here.
So Papanikolaou inside to Vezenkov, reverse pivot, passes out of the double team. Papanikolaou for 3, and he strings it. The Twine being torched from the deep ball here after both teams started off with difficulties from downtown, but my goodness, they have caught fire here.
Papanikolaou makes the entry pass. Lucas gives him a back pick on the help and finds himself wide open. Papanikolaou drills that 3. Oh!
They hang it up, and the backdoor cut is converted by Chima Moneke. So they go inside to foul, but he's been caught out. Nice recovery by Olympiacos. Not sure how much he knew about it.
One shot here if you're Monaco, unless you're Mike James. Oh, James thought about it, Ron.
So he's going to hold the basketball. The floor being spread, not quite 4 flat. But Mike James, one-on-one with Isaiah Cannon, pulls up for 3 off the back iron. And that will conclude the first quarter action. The Monaco fans applauding the effort put forward by this squad. They have trailed just once in this game, and that was after Olympiacos opened the scoring. So with 10 minutes in the book, it's Olympiacos Piraeus 14, AS Monaco 20.
Most countries in the world has got something very special for you fans. Simon, tell us a little bit more.
Oh, it is very, very special indeed, because we are going to give one of you lucky fans, guess how many miles? 100,000 miles, courtesy of our very good friends, Turkish Airlines and their loyalty program, Miles and Smiles. Now you can use
Some of the highlights from the first quarter.
you can even go on and buy it.
Olympiacos fans were making up the majority of this crowd here. Were in full voice ahead of the opening tip, but they had precious little to cheer about in terms of points going on the board in the opening stages of this fixture. Mike James with 8 first quarter points. Couldn't get this field goal to fall, but that was wonderfully delicate touch from Donatas Motiejunas. Donatas Motiejunas, Joe, the hometown boy, perfect from the field, and 2 offensive rebounds in his total of 3.
Yeah, we talked about the big man wanting to come out and play. There's no doubt that he wants to come out and play here tonight. And again, I'm talking about Monaco defensively. They've done such a great job against Olympiacos. And what I really liked on that last play was I love the fact that James, these are things that don't go into stats, even though we're looking at the stats right now on your screen. James comes down at 14 seconds to go, all by himself at a wide open look at the 3, decided not to take it. Runs the clock down and executes perfectly. Maybe he could have taken the ball inside, but as that ball hits the back of the rim, the buzzer goes off. So that's a perfect possession for Monaco to finish out the quarter.
So the Olympiacos captain, Kostas Papanikolaou, the outstanding performer of the first quarter, 5 points along with 9 rebounds in his first quarter, where he never left the floor. He, Vezenkov, and Mike James logging 10 minutes each. Shaquille McKissick preparing for his first action of this semi-final. And we all know what a spark plug he is. A high motor guy with a high IQ as well, and he can really change the tempo of a fixture, Joe, in a flash.
Yeah, and he's especially dangerous when he has Lucas on the floor with him, because Lucas draws defensive attention.
So Laurent Zaikis. Lucas makes the catch, putting Diallo on the deck. Lucas double team near the wing. Oh, that's a clever, inventive play, but Tariq Black just couldn't make the attempted conversion on the inside. There's the 5 on the floor for AS Monaco to begin the second quarter.
But that was also kind of a desperation play for Black right there. They had to get that ball up as soon as possible. Monaco's defense is so impressive here tonight throughout this first quarter.
On the cut, Dante Hall, kick to the corner, pump fake, lets it fly, and we've got a foul. Now, which way is the foul?
Bezenkov's clapping.
That looks as though it's an offensive foul on Chima Monike. So, Monike called for his first as we see the 5 on the floor for Olympiacos. Black half squaring up against Dante Hall. Slukas works the wall out to McKissick, drives, kicks. Laurent Zaikis, pump fake, one dribble, fouled in the act of shooting. He's going to the free throw line for 3 shots.
That's a great play by the young man right there. Finding the defense coming out, pump faking and going up. But, you know, it's interesting to me that you see the defense for Monaco, I keep talking about it, but they're just face guarding Slukas. There's no help off of Slukas. Once he has the ball, they're switching everything so he doesn't get any openings. But the most important thing, that when he releases that ball, they don't want him to get it back in his hands.
So Gianoulis Laurent Zaikis, 76% from the free throw line this season. With a perfect 2 of 2 from the stripe in the playoffs. Monike taking a seat on the bench, having been hit with 2 fouls.
It's early in the game right now, but 4 for 9 from the line for Olympiacos is a big stat. That's kind of hangs out and says, hey, wait till the 4th quarter to see what's going on, because make it 4 for 10. That's 40% from the line early on here, taking Olympiacos out of this game. That's causing that 5-point deficit.
Olympiacos, just a better free throw shooting team between these two. 77% on the season as the baseline drive is powered home. Tough finish on the inside by Alpha Diallo to open his account. 7 points the advantage once again, equaling Monaco's largest lead of the game.
But you just don't see that anymore, Ron. Diallo going baseline and going up with 2 feet. Everybody loves to jump off that 1 foot.
Slukas gets it out to McKissick. McKissick to the free throw line. Vezenkov, no travel call as he might have moved his feet. McKissick, tough shot off the dribble, and he connects. Tough bucket from downtown, dribbling left. Shaquille McKissick on the step back in the face of Eliakobo with the shot clock about to sound.
Yeah, but that's great defense by Monaco. I mean, if you're going to make that shot all night long, it's no big deal, as he gets called for a carry right there. Great call by the referee. As you're going to see on this crossover, that was a Kobo, I believe. No, I'm sorry, that was Lloyd who got called for the carry. But again, Monaco's defense, they're up 4. The defense is so intense. And even that shot by McKissick, you're going to give up every now and then. There's not much you can do to stop that shot.
So 4 turnovers apiece. As Tariq Black sets a roadblock of a screen on the perimeter. Slukas working against Dante Hall. Vezenkov on the cut to the bucket. How about that for patience beneath the basket, and the offload perfectly timed to find the cutter.
Yeah, before when Slukas penetrated to the basket like that, went underneath, everybody was outside the 3-point line. This time, Vezenkov decided to cut down the middle and get the easy look.
High line matchup zone being played by Olympiacos. Dante Hall to Eliakobo. Eliakobo runs into a pincer movement and has his pocket picked. 3-on-1 opportunity, and McKissick finishes on the break. And we are deadlocked for the first time since the opening tip. A fantastic start to the second quarter. Sees Olympiacos Piraeus leading it 8 points to 2. They've put together 7 points without reply to tie things up at 22 points apiece. Timeout on the floor. Sasha Obradovic wants to break this momentum that Olympiacos have established.
Yeah, there's no doubt he needed to break that momentum right there. It's the defense for Olympiacos. We talked about it before, between the rebounding and the fact that they can get the steals with guys like Walkup on. They get out and they run fast breaks quick, and they score easy points like they just did right there.
Well, let's enjoy some first quarter flight time here at the Jalgirio Arena. Elia Kobo on the drive and dish and rising up for the baseline alley-oop was Chima Monike, bounding off both feet and converting with two hands for the Turkish Airlines flight time play of the game.
These Olympiacos fans are now starting to get into it. But Ron, the key to this comeback was, although it didn't help Olympiacos very much, that second foul by Walkup brought Slukas off the bench probably a bit earlier than Coach Bartzokas wanted. But look at what it's done for him. They put him on that 7-0 run, playing better defense, getting the ball distributed better offensively, and creating more spaces close to Slukas.
So AS Monaco looking to bring to an end the 7 straight points stitched together by Olympiacos as Elia Kobo drives, kicks to the wing, feet beneath him, and stringing the three-pointer. Jordan Lloyd landing from downtown, 38% for the season. Very impressive drive and dish to give that score to Monaco.
Does it feel any better for Coach Obradovic to call a timeout, stop the rhythm of Olympiacos, and set up a play that ends up in a three-pointer? Coaches love that moment.
Nice catch inside Tariq Black, and finishes high above the rim after getting both feet set beneath him.
He's so strong down low. He uses his body well, and those big shoulders and arms push defenders out of the way. He goes up and makes easy baskets on a consistent basis.
So Lloyd double team momentarily. Slukas picks him up on the switch. Alpha Diallo crossing up into the lane. Pass to the corner. Elia Kobo doesn't catch cleanly. Deep three-pointer. Now it's a foul. It was a difficult shot attempted, but AS Monaco bailed out because a foul is being committed by Janulis Laurentzaikis, which will send the shooter to the free throw line for 3 shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's official. That's the rule book right there. You have to stop that. You have to get out of that perimeter of the shooter coming down. You can't get under his feet. I know you don't like the call if you're a defender because you don't feel like you touched them or you affected the shot, but we know the new rule is, and the rule's called, and it's a very great call by the officials.
Yep, coming down in the shooter's cylinder of verticality. So in his landing space, Jordan Lloyd, a 90% free throw shooter this season. 10 of 12 from the free throw line in playoff game 5, where he put 21 points on the board. Well, there is the EuroLeague CEO, Marshall Glickman, in attendance here at the Jalgirio Arena.
He better be in attendance, isn't he?
In a good seat too. Yeah. He's enjoying a real tussle thus far. So it's a 1-score game as Slukas pulls up from a deep 2. Tariq Black with a magnificent offensive rebound, powers up in the paint, can't get it to go, but fouled in the act of shooting. And he'll go to the stripe. Yannis Varopoulos.
It feels like there's just there's something around Tariq Black when he's look at, you got one body falling here, everybody else just kind of splits the sea. He goes up, he gets it, they all come back in, but no one wants to get really too close to him. They don't want to catch one of those arms on the way up. I can tell you that right now. That is a big boy out there pushing people around.
Yep, can carry people to the rack when he grabs those offensive rebounds, Tariq Black.
You know, Ron, every now and then I see a player. There's Siskauskas right there. I was with him last night. We were helping out the volunteers. There's no way they're booing him here. He's a hometown boy. I was telling you, every now and then when I'm up here in the box with you doing these games and I see a player down on the court like Black, I'm like, man, thank God I'm up here. I don't want nothing to do with guys like that anymore, Ron.
So it's a one-score game approaching the halfway stage of the second quarter. Short corner J from John Brown. He's buried confidently. John Brown moves to 4 points in the game on 2 of 3 shooting from the field.
Well, it'd be great to have a replay of that because the fake pass to the cutting, I don't even know who the other guy was cutting on the baseline, but Brown got the wide open look because of that fake pass to Lucas.
Oh, swatted away by Dante Hall, straight into the hands of Sasha Vezenkov. Ball still live. John Brown battling Shaquille McKissick for it. Olympiacos retain possession. But what an explosive athletic rejection by Dante Hall. And then there's a coming together down in the low post between John Brown and Tariq Black. But Dante Hall bounding off the court as though he's riding a trampette. Look at that. Terrific timing.
Watch the head. It just keeps going up. Almost at rim level. Dante Hall throwing that one away on Slukas.
So John Brown drawing that foul in that tussle down low, just on the edge of the lane. Hall setting a screen, rolls to the bucket. There's a mismatch down low, and indeed on the perimeter, slicing his way to the rack is Elia Kobo, who'll be going to the free throw line for 2 shots.
That's gonna be 2 quick ones on Tariq Black also, as he gets over the top of Kobo right there. So now see what that, yeah, he's gonna come out quick, as it's going to be Lombo checking into the game. So you've had Fall come in, you've had Black come in, and now it's Malombo who's going to come give his hand a try at that 5 spot for Olympiacos.
Olympiacos yet to lead in this game. Well, excuse me, led once in this game at 1-0 after going 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
I feel like Monaco took that punch from when Slukas came in. You know, they absorbed that punch from Olympiacos, even though they're starting to miss foul shots also now. But they've come back, created this 5-point lead, and gotten a little bit of that rhythm back that they lost before that timeout.
So McKissick, given room momentarily on the perimeter, attacks the lane. Ambitious field goal attempt on the inside. Terrific battling Olympiacos. Lucas, pump fake, drive and kick. And we've got bodies hitting the deck in the lane once again. How about that for help D from Jordan Lloyd? Planting both feet, taking up perfect position, and drawing the offensive foul on Kostas Lucas, who left his feet to pass.
Yeah, when you leave your feet off of 1 foot, it becomes so much more dangerous, right? And Jordan Lloyd's a scorer. He's not supposed to be doing that, my man. He's supposed to be scoring points, but that's giving up your body in the Final Four game in the semifinal. Give Jordan Lloyd some love right there. Reading Kostas Lucas. Again, the importance of picking up fouls on the important players for the other team.
First foul called against Kostas Lucas. Mike James back into the proceedings.
If I'm Coach Obradovic and I see him taking an offensive foul, I'm happy, but I'm a little nervous also.
Oh, now there's a wrestling match down low, which winds up with Donatas Motiejunas on his back beneath the basket, and that's because he was pulled down by Joel Bolomboy.
That's another foul in the interior. Foul only went out earlier with 1, but Black picked up the 2. But let's keep an eye on that, because the inside presence for Olympiacos is so important defensively. Like we said, they switch a lot on the perimeter, so they need somebody inside all the time to bother the penetrators like Lloyd and Mike James.
Now Donatas Motiejunas, just a 57% free throw shooter this season, a 51% shooter for his career. Did go 6 of 10 during the playoffs from 15 feet away, including a perfect 2 of 2 in playoff game 5 in his 6.4 rebound total in the decisive win against Maccabi.
And he's home, Ron.
Indeed.
He's on his home turf right there.
Getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
So 1 of 2 from the free throw line for Donatas Motiejunas, and John Brown's battling on the inside sees AS Monaco come away with another possession. Ball tipped out of bounds by Olympiacos.
I saw a little play right there that's been set up by Obradovic. Let's see if they go for a backdoor cutter, looking for the easy layup. Here comes the Montejunas. Nope, they missed them though. Good switch by Olympiacos.
So 2-3 zone is what Olympiacos are matching up in. Slukas on the basketball. Eliakobo one-on-one, dancing around the high post. Step back at the elbow. Difficult shot off the front iron. Rebound secure, Joe Bolomboy.
Well defended by Slukas at the point.
So Slukas deflected en route to Bolomboy. He puts it into the breadbasket of Alec Peters. Slukas one-on-one with Alpha Diallo. Alpha Diallo moving his feet terrifically. Double team from Donatas Monteunas. Three-pointer off the back iron. Joe Bolomboy with an athletic offensive rebound. Deflected out of bounds by John Brown. And it will be Olympiacos possession with 10 seconds remaining.
He's so active down low, isn't he? He missed the pass that was deflected earlier because he was face-to-face with his player. He wasn't seeing the ball defensively, but that time he had his hand up and deflected it. That gives his defense a chance to get a quick rest and reset.
Deflections, such a crucial stat which aren't often measured, but they are so disruptive. Just breaking up the flow that the offensive team trying to establish. John Brown, a master in that regard. As Slukas. So Donatas Monteunas called for a foul. AS Monaco still with fouls to give. Just over 3.5 minutes remaining in the half. The next one will put them in the penalty. Oof. Nice reception ultimately by Alec Peters. Pegged back towards the halfway line. John Brown all over him like a rash. Into the hands of Kostas Lukas. And it's going to be a blocking foul as Monteunas hit with two quick ones. Standing for the block. Standing for the charge, but called for the block.
Yeah, it looked like to me he was moving to his right a little bit. Slukas makes that quick move. It's a good call by the officials, but right there, both coaches took a breath because both of them are sitting there with one foul recently, and now Monteunas with his second consecutive foul right there. That puts him at 2. Still 3:20 to go. I don't know what you're doing if you're Coach Obradovic right now. If you want to slip him out of the game here, maybe let him play this offensive possession, then take him out. Don't risk getting that third foul before halftime.
Dante Hall has been on the floor for 9 minutes in this game. 3 rebounds and that spectacular block. And he's got no fouls. He doesn't have any fouls against his name. Kostas Slukas, 1 of 2 from the stripe.
And you know something's going on when Slukas has missed the foul shots.
Absolutely. He had made 26 consecutive free throws coming into this game, only to miss his second effort there. His team down by 5. Nice rebound on the interior. So 3 minutes remaining in the first half. It's what has been a semi-final as John Brown got both hands on it. Now, is this going to be reviewed? Because John Brown, again, watch him battling down in the corner. It looks as though he has it, and then he intelligently bounces it off the foot of Janulis Laurent Zykas. What a heady play, augmenting the effort and intensity that he brings to the court with that high IQ play there to get possession for his team.
Yeah, great. I mean, the guy, like we talked about, is just active. You mentioned it before, the fact that he gets his deflection, gets his hands on everything. Mike James again. No, Mike James, please. With 2 guys on him, Ron pulls up from 3. He's been on the bench. He's been cold for a while. It still knocks down to 3.
So it's another 7-point lead for AS Monaco, equaling their largest lead of the game. Alpha Diallo called for the foul. That's his second. But Mike James becomes the game's first double-digit scorer. And this is how he got there. Tough pull-up, Jay, at the high post.
I thought that was a 3. You don't see Mike James usually pulling up from the high post like that. He's usually stepping back from the 3. You were right on the 7-point lead after that 2-pointer by James, but what a tough play over 2 defenders. Now let's see, Slukas just missed one before. You know he's got to be upset with himself. He's going to want to knock these 2 down. So
Slukas 92% from the free throw line this season. Again, mention the fact that Vezenkov was outstanding from the stripe, going 16 of 16. Kostas Papanikolaou, 3 of 3. Kostas Lukas was 13 of 13 from the stripe. during the postseason prior to that second miss on free throw number 2. He's gone 2 of 2 there. His team trailing by 5. They've trailed by 7 on 3 occasions.
It's like a 3-2 zone defense matchup. They're playing head-to-head at the point. You see Slukas right there getting a piece of it on James.
Deep into the shot clock, Mike James pulls up over Slukas off the front iron. Strong rebound secured by Janulis Laurent-Zaikis after a good job boxing out by Olympiacos.
You have to get that ball to the foul line if you're Monaco.
McKissick goes glass, it's off the mark, ball is loose. Jordan Lloyd with terrific speed, tiptoeing down the sidelines, retains control. Eliakobo, fake sideline, drive to the hoop. What a move off the head fake by Eliakobo. He faked going to the sideline, drew the defenders with him, came back, attacked the lane, and finished at the goal.
You're taught that from early on, Ron. You hesitate when the defense is coming back. You make it look as though you're taking the ball back out of bounds, and you make that quick spin move. That's old school move right there by Akobo.
4th 7-point lead of the game as the deep 3-pointer barely grazes the rim. Joel Bolomboy with a terrific effort on the offensive glass once again. Ball is loose, it's a bit of a scrum, and it's Jordan Lloyd who comes up with it. Eliakobo stopping in transition and drills it from downtown. And we have a double-digit lead for AS Monaco because Eliakobo stopped in transition, contemplated his options, let it fly, and landed it from long range. It is a 10-point lead for AS Monaco.
We talked about, Ron, once again, it was John Brown leading that on the defensive side, getting down on the floor, getting his knees a little bit dirty and bloody, and getting that loose ball and kicking out to Akobo for the 3.
So timeout on the floor as we enjoy some of the emotions that have been evident during what has been a frenetic first half of play. We've had brief cameos of flowing basketball, but for the most part, this has been about grit and hustle and intensity.
Yeah, you know, Ron, this is one of the things I always emphasize during the games when we're doing games is the last 2 minutes of quarters, last 2 minutes of the first half, going into the next half, next quarter with some sort of momentum. And it's been Monaco, right, who has done it defensively and converting it offensively. Akobo's been spectacular here in the last 2 minutes. Mike James with the 2-pointer from the top of the key. But again, it's John Brown on the defensive side, deflecting balls, just disrupting the Olympiacos offense. That's what you said the deflections do, the aggressiveness does. It takes you further away from the basket, makes it more difficult for you to run your offensive sets. And John Brown is the player of the game for me right now, especially on the defensive end for Monaco.
John Brown doing an outstanding job, only credited with 1 steal, but he has been such a disruptive influence at the defensive end. His hands seemingly on so many of the basketballs that Olympiacos are attempting to move. Slukas into foul, nice catch, and he's fouled from behind by Eliakobo. Mustafa Fall will go to the free throw line.
Foul called on Eliakobo.
Now, we mentioned the outstanding shot-making that Olympiacos produced during the postseason from Slukas and Vezenkov and Papa Nikolaou. Mustafa Fall, who's a 53% free throw shooter on the season, was outstanding during the playoffs. 72% connecting on 13 of 18 from 15 feet away. That's an outstanding effort.
And I mean, that's the first thing I just looked at when he went to the line. I'm like, yeah, my first thought was, that's the guy you want to foul. That's a great foul from Monaco right there. Send him to the line. But then I look, I'm like, man, he went 15% better than he did during the season in the playoffs. So that was it. Although he got that miss right there, he made 1 out of 2. But you always expect a guy that's a 50, 60% free throw shooter. He's going to maintain that percentage, no doubt. He might have a good game every now and then.
So it's Mike James working one-on-one against Slukas. 2-3 zone being played by Olympiacos. Foul on a 3-point shooter, and he's going to the free throw line for 3 foul shots. Was it a 3? I thought it was. So Costa Slukas called for the foul. And the fluorescent pink shoes of Mike James making it an easy pickup for the officials. Day glow on that footwear. Costa Slukas called for his second. 30 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, he'll stay in on the offensive side without a doubt, but what I liked about that was the fact that James, or I should say what I didn't like about that, James again took that final possession. Again, no movement offensively on that zone defense. So Coach Obradovic is going to have to take this halftime and set up something offensively for his team against that 3-2 zone. But remember, Mike James made a smart move right here. It's a 2-for-1 play. He gets the 3 foul shots, and they still have 5 seconds for another possession.
So Mike James, number 2 in the EuroLeague in terms of free throws made, is 5 for 5 in this game so far. His team up by a dozen. Olympiacos in the high post. Mustafa Foul not looking at the bucket. Kostas Lukas has used his dribble. Kostas Papanikolaou catching at the three-pointer. It was down and rimmed back out into the grateful mitts of Dante Hall. 3-quarter court heave. Doesn't draw Ryan. Well, at the conclusion of 20 minutes of play here at the Žalgirio Arena, it is AS Monaco who have a double-digit points advantage. They are up by 12 after producing big runs in the closing stages. Overall, it is an 8-1 run to conclude the second quarter, and that is why we have a halftime scoreline of Olympiacos Piraeus 29, AS Monaco 41. Olympiacos Piraeus have led just once. So Jordan Lloyd explaining to Yeri Zidek the AS Monaco philosophy. Let's hear from the Olympiacos captain.
First of all, come down, make the free throws, and then bring up the intensity to the defensive end. 41 points is too much.
So look at the head-to-head between Kostas Papanikolaou and Jordan Lloyd. Jordan Lloyd with 9 points in the game, perfect from 2-point territory, 2 of 3 from the stripe, 1 of 3 from downtown. And look at that, Joe, 5 rebounds from the guard position, chipping in magnificently to help out his ball club.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier on. The rims are live, the balls are live. Long rebounds are going to be important. You have to help out the big man.
So second half just moments away.
Okay, basketball fans.
Well, some of the highlights from the first half. Terrific finish on the inside. Isaiah Cannon with 5 first-quarter points for his club. He was the man who got the first field goal on the board for Olympiacos, but it took them almost 4 minutes to get that point on the board. That was a 3-pointer from the corner, but in the second quarter when Kostas Lukas came in, he began to make some inroads with his control of the game and driving and dishing to hook up his teammates, Joe.
Yeah, he definitely did, but Monaco picked up on it quick. I love what Jordan Lloyd said. Make them miserable, make them suffer out there, make it difficult for them. That's exactly what Monaco is doing. You see Kostas Lukas going to the basket there, it gets blocked, but also when he's been penetrating, the only look that he's really gotten good was that cut by Vezenkov that got the easy basket. But other than that, it's been frustrating for Olympiacos offensively, only 29 points.
And that demonstrated by the numbers as well. 50% from the stripe is profligate indeed, and 8 turnovers committed by the regular season standings leaders. So there is the status of this first semi-final. Olympiacos Piraeus down by a dozen. Let's get our halftime interview with Sasha Obradovic of AS Monaco.
Fans, it's time to unleash your final four passion and create your squad with the EuroLeague digital collectibles created by Ultimate Champions. Simply scan the QR code, which will shortly be on the big screen, play and become the Ultimate Champion. Simon, don't you have a squad yourself?
I do have a squad. I've got a very, very good squad. I'm just wondering if anybody else is going to play me as well. So eventually that QR code will go up on the big screen. You'll be able to scan it, and then you'll be able to join that Champions League.
I mean, I definitely have a team. There it is. Scan that QR code like we said. Create your ultimate team if you've ever wanted to be a EuroLeague manager or EuroLeague Cup manager, and you can face mine and Simon's teams that we created earlier.
That's right, and we all know that we want to be a champion, don't we? So now's your chance. Get scanning and build your team.
So a look at the shot chart for AS Monaco, Joe. 67% from two-point territory is impressive shooting indeed, and it's not just strictly beneath the basket. They're stretching the floor to mid-range as well.
Yeah, so much had to do, the ones underneath the basket had so much to do with the guards penetrating, James getting in the lane, pull and fall, and the big boys away from the basket, and getting those baseline cuts, John Brown and Dante Hall down there low.
Or Jordan Lloyd, terrific first half for him, leading all players with a performance index rating of 14, because in addition to putting the ball in the hole, he drew that offensive foul, putting his body on the line, and he's grabbed 5 rebounds at the defensive end. A magnificent all-court display by Jordan Lloyd.
Final four, Ron. Final four, you put your body on the line in every play, as you see his stats right there. And again, you look at the 9 points, you look at the point index rating, but it doesn't say anything about that offensive foul. It doesn't say anything else that he's bringing to his team. You see these guys getting on the floor. Their defensive intensity is so much higher than Olympiacos right now. And you feel if you're the Greeks, you have a sense of urgency to get yourself back into the game. But it's little by little you have to do it. It's only a 12-point deficit. It's no big deal. A lot of time left.
So will Olympiacos be able to demonstrate the patience required to overturn this double-digit deficit down by a dozen when Olympiacos used a 7-0 run to tie things up at 22 points apiece? Post that point, they were outscored 7 points to 19 for the remainder of the half. AS Monaco with an outstanding defensive effort to disrupt Olympiacos Piraeus' flow. Let's hear from coach George Bartzokas of Olympiacos. So, Coach Bartzokas, of course, looking for his team to improve from the free throw line, where they are an anemic 50%, 9 of 18 from the stripe, but just 33% from two-point territory as well. And that testament, Joe, to the swarming defensive effort being produced by AS Monaco.
Yeah, there's just no easy looks for Olympiacos. They've converted on the easy looks. Remember Cannon in the corner, Besenkov had one. They've converted on them, but they haven't gotten very many of them, that's for sure, as we see some of these emotions going on here in the first half, and the Olympiacos motions are look like a little bit of concern on the faces of the fans and some of the players. But as coach said, they have to settle into themselves, become the Olympiacos again, and try to get themselves back into this game.
So Elia Kobo, Jordan Lloyd, and Mike James, 3-guard backcourt for AS Monaco, doing damage from the perimeter and indeed getting it to the rack.
Big George asked Coach Bartzokas what he needed to do. He already tried to do it early on. He went to zone, but he didn't get much time to go into that zone because Monaco was getting the loose balls on the other side of the court, and we saw Kobo come down and hit a 3. If offensively, if you can run a play or get a shot up at the basket and convert on top of it, without that zone being set up on the transition, you're doing a great job for Monaco.
So Jordan Lloyd, the outstanding performer of quarter number 2. what will have been said to the respective teams at halftime. Expect the regular season standings leaders, Olympiacos, to come out hard and look to make a statement in the opening exchanges of this second half.
Ron, there's no bigger stat to me than 68-point average Olympiacos had in the 2 fixtures this year against Monaco, and only 29 points here so far. So Monaco knows something about how to stop this defense. Can they do it for 20 more minutes is the question.
So whistle on the first play.
And we talked about at the halftime break, Ron, at World Cup. He's back in the game right now, but after he picked up that second foul, he was sat down for the entire first and second quarter. I saw him at halftime warming up. He was going through his pre-game routine to try to get warmed back up again. So Thomas Walkups is taking this as if it's the first half all over again.
So I think the clock had to be adjusted because despite clearly more than 2 seconds elapsing on the court, only 2 seconds had shown as coming off the game clock.
If you're Monaco, you don't want that extra 3 seconds on the clock right now.
So the clock adjusted to what it should be. Action resumes as Walkup being pursued by the AS Monaco captain Yakuba Ouattara. Walkup finds a cutting and dunking Sasha Vezenkov with the offload. Beautiful movements off the basketball by Vezenkov.
We talked about it. They're not being effective from outside the 3-point line, so you have to cut when you get that ball into the lane. Walkup did a great job of splitting the pick. Nice backdoor cut, defended well by Cannon.
And Cannon picking up the loose ball. John Brown with the turnover, Isaiah Cannon with his second steal of the game. Strong start for Olympiacos. Can they build on it once again, having had AS Monaco go down the floor and not get a look at the bucket? What an offload, and the foul finishing through the contact on the inside is Kostas Papanikolaou. Mustafa Foul with the feed out of the low post, delightful vision, and how about that for a cut, catch, and completion on the inside by Kostas Papanikolaou.
You know, Ron, I talked about the fact earlier they were playing a lot of face-to-face defense. So you want to talk about adjustments that are made at halftime? That's one by Coach Bartsokis. The ball gets within the paint, anywhere in the lane. I need cutters. I need somebody cutting to the basket. And Monaco's now going to have to adjust. In 50 seconds, they had 2 cuts to the basket and 5 points for Olympiacos, and they feel the rhythm. They're back in the game.
So a lead that was at 12 at the halftime interval has been cut down to 7. A 5-0 run to start the second half for Olympiacos. As Mike James putting Walkup on his back. Mid-range Jays off the front line. Oh. What an offensive rebound. John Brown offloads to Donatas Motiejunas. He's being guarded by Mustafa Foul in the low post. No foul on the bump. Big men being allowed to play close to the bucket. Too strong off the glass. Saved by Kostas Papanikolaou, the captain leading by example. Olympiacos looking to break this one open in the second half, but Isaiah Cannon off the mark with his trifecta.
Cannon was trying to bring about 5,000 Olympiacos fans to their feet right there with that 3.
So Mike James has used his dribble. Flat pass to John Brown. Look at the battle down low. Skidding over the baseline is Sasha Vezenkov. And he's called for the foul, wrestling with Donatas Motiejunas.
Ron, midway through the second quarter, we saw Monaco take that punch from Olympiacos. They're taking another one right now. So these next couple offenses are really important for Monaco to get themselves back into the game and feel that rhythm on the offensive side.
Fading jump hook is too strong. John Brown with an offensive rebound. He tried to offload but put it straight into the hands of the league leader in steals. Thomas Walkup picking it off. So another trip down the floor without a score. Just over 2 minutes gone in the third, and AS Monaco yet to score as Foul looking to dunk on top of Eliakobo. Jordan Lloyd breaking it up on the inside, coming over from the weak side. And again, you've got to like that paint protection from a man who is a scorer for AS Monaco.
I love the paint protection, but I don't like the fact that Foul doesn't throw that down. Come on, man, you're 7'2" out there. Yeah. You got to throw that down over Jordan Lloyd. You cannot affect a little bump on the arm, a little bit more speed on the move for Foul right there, and you have an and one. Now he's sending himself to the line where we talked about him being a little bit better in the playoff range, but, you know, I mean, you can paint it any way you want. A 53% shooter is a 53% shooter. You got to get that and one if you're the big boy.
So Foul 1 of 2 from the free throw line. It's a 6-0 run to begin the second half for Olympiacos, chipping away, halving the deficit of a dozen that they faced after 20 minutes of play. Ouattara, 2-3 zone being played by Olympiacos. Solid screen set by Mota Younes. Intricate interior passing, tough turnaround shot. They come up empty once again. Olympiacos doing an outstanding job ensuring that it's one and done for AS Monaco.
And Monaco's shooting going away from the basket instead of going towards the basket. Like foul right there. Up and over and at the basket. You got to go aggressively. You've had 3 shots in a row by Monaco. Two by Mota Younes and 1 by Brown. And all 3 of them were fading away. And right now, what do we got here?
So Olympiacos have stitched together a run of 8 points without reply to begin the second half. They are back to within 4. Sasha Obradovic calls timeout. He wants to talk this one over and look to break this momentum being established by Olympiacos. Well, the Turkish Airlines play of the second quarter comes from the defensive side of the basketball, because Dante Hall bounded off the court off both feet and continued to elevate skyward to spike that shot attempt from Kostas Papanikolaou, forcefully back down to earth. Dante Hall with the Turkish Airlines flight time player of the game for the second quarter.
You know, Rana, Olympiacos didn't pretty much control first place in this difficult EuroLeague season for no reason at all. You know they got the heart to come back into this game. You knew they were going to try to do it as early as possible. And right now, this 8-0 run has put them right in the position of where they want to be. Again, I keep talking about the fact Monaco, remember the timeout that Coach Obradovic called in the second quarter when the punch came, got a 3-pointer out of it. Let's see what he comes up with this time right here. See if he can come up with the play to settle his team back into where they were earlier in that first half and the end of the second quarter.
So 2 minutes, 40 seconds gone. Full court pressure being applied by Olympiacos as the fans dialing up their volume here at the Žalgiris Arena. That 8-0 run has come in this third quarter. AS Monaco go in search of their first score. Mike James around the top of the key, down the edge of the lane, who's lost control, managed to get it out to the corner. Difficult 3 attempt, and that is outstanding D from Olympiacos once again. They are suffocating AS Monaco at the offensive end.
Is it just something about that end of the floor or what? Because right now, Monaco looks like Olympiacos in the first half.
So John Brown climbing beneath the jersey of the newly crowned MVP, Sasha Vezenkov. Corner 3-pointer from Kostas Papanikolaou is buried, and it's a double-digit run of points without reply. Kostas Papanikolaou, 11 points in the game on 2 of 4 shooting from downtown. His team back to within 1. And still AS Monaco remains stone cold from the field in this second half. Cannon. A field goal of any description will see Olympiacos take their first lead since they led 1-0. As Walker drives, kicks, Vezenkov for 3, bucket! And Olympiacos Piraeus are rolling here at the Žalgiris Arena, and AS Monaco, with over 4 minutes gone in the third quarter, have yet to put a point on the board, outscored on a 14-0 run. They're in complete disarray and need to find something to get back to parity from the field. Donatas Mota Younes with the pickup. John Brown battling for it. There's a shot clock violation. That basket will not count. And AS Monaco, well, their fans turning their back on them momentarily because they are enduring a nightmare portion of this basketball game.
Yeah, you're seeing a little bit of weak body language here by Monaco as they're starting to get a little frustrated with each other. They didn't even get a shot off on that one right there. They had a couple of attempts to looks at the basket, but now is the point where you start to get nervous. You feel that you're on this run of 4.5 minutes without scoring, and each player gets a little bit more nervous. They start to hold that ball a little bit longer than they need to because they don't want to take that quick shot. They have to get in some sort of flow to get themselves back into this game. Olympiacos is feeling themselves right now.
So Walker gives it to foul in the high post. Foul not facing up to the bucket. Cannon Using the screen from foul. Vezenkov, defended by John Brown, is Papa Nicolau. Dumps it down low. Vezenkov off the front rim, Donatas Motiejunas with the rebound. AS Monaco looking to push it through Mike James. Mike James putting the Olympiacos transition D on their heels. Elia Kobo, one-on-one with Walker. Motiejunas battling Vezenkov down on the block. Mike James offloads, Elia Kobo, step back three, contemplated it, front rim on the shot, Mustafa Fowl with the rebound. A solid defensive sequence produced by Olympiacos, and still AS Monaco in search of their first score of the second half, with approaching 5.5 minutes gone. So Walker. Nice steal, Jordan Lloyd, terrific speed down the sideline. And finally, at 5 minutes 40 seconds, AS Monaco get their first second half points on the board. A fast break flush rammed home by Elia Kobo from the outstanding player of the game, Jordan Lloyd, steal and offload.
And Ron, they did it on the defensive end, actually. It was a pressure right on there on the sideline to get that steal and get out and get the 2-on-1 break. And that's what you have to do if you're Monaco, because your half-court offense is not working for you right now. And you see the way both these teams are playing. Only 4 fouls so far here in the second quarter. 1 for Olympiacos. That was the third right there for Monaco. So it's not an aggressive form of defense. It is for Olympiacos, but they're not drawing. Monaco's not drawing any fouls by getting to the basket.
So Walker orchestrating the half-court offense. Oh, what an intricate pass on the inside. Count the basket. Kostas Papanikolaou coming to the fore in this first semi-final here at the Žalgirio Arena. 13 points in the game, sees him as the joint high scorer in the game. And he'll go to the free throw line looking to add 1 more.
This is Olympiacos basketball, Ryan. 9 assists in the first half, 16 in the game right now. As this 7 assists here in this third quarter. You have cutting Vezenkov, cutting Papanikolaou to the basket, opening up the outside shots for the 3-pointers after. Another missed on a foul shot, but Papanikolaou stays with it.
Vezenkov for 3 off right, rebound Mike James. So it is a 1-score game.
Boy, Vezenkov won that one back. I can tell you that was just a custom-made 3-point shot for him.
Elia Kobo, the sole scorer for Monaco in the second half. John Brown with another offensive rebound. What an outstanding job he is doing. His 3rd offensive rebound of the game. Elia Kobo one-on-one with Vezenkov. Hesitation dribble, flat pass. Yakubu Alpha Diallo working his way into the lane. It's another shot clock violation. Where is the communication for AS Monaco? Sasha Obradovic saying, listen, I can't take the shots for you. Recognize the time score context and take responsibility.
Yeah, they're forcing themselves into bad shots and not even getting looks at the end. You know, they got the offensive rebound. Brown gets offensive rebound. You know, as a player, you only have 14 seconds. You have to set that play up quick. You can't take that much time. You know, when you're out on the floor, you start to feel the pressure of having to get that shot up. Somebody has to take it. And they're just not producing good shots right now. They're actually lucky to only be down 2 right now, because Olympiacos is making a big run here.
16-2 the run overall in this third quarter. Oh, it's foul again out of the low post. Hooking up the cutting Isaiah Cannon. The roles reversed. The big hooking up the playmaking guard. Isaiah Cannon to 7 points in the game, but what a pass from the block from Mustafa Fowl.
It's a beautiful pass by the big man. Again, James had a look at the basket, but gives up the rock right here. Nobody wants to shoot. They're down under 5 again.
Elia Kobo, is he going to force a tough one-on-one? Isaiah Cannon all over him. Step back 3, and he misses everything.
3 shot clock violations in this quarter alone.
Isaiah Cannon with a suffocating defensive effort to completely shut off the offense that Elia Kobo was looking to create.
I mentioned this earlier in the first half. The one play where Vezenkov cut down the middle of the lane when Kostas Sloukas penetrated was the key to this game for Olympiacos, because they were putting everybody out handball style, you know, out around that 3-point line. And Monaco is covering that. The cuts are wide open, And you saw it even when Fall gets the ball down in the low post.
So Papa Nicolau, it's a foul in the high post, foul, dumps it down to Vezenkov, who moved his feet well to receive the basketball. Vezenkov bullying his way, goaltend from Dante Hall, demonstrating his bounce, catching it on the descent. The ball had passed the peak of its parabola. Dante Hall just a step late on the help side deep.
Yeah, I don't think there's any mistake about this. We're going to get a good look at it. You see Vezenkov go up and here it. Oh, man, I don't want to be a referee in this game because that, I thought for sure that ball was going down, Ron, but in slow motion.
Make no mistake, though, Dante Hall head height to the rim. Terrific bounce beneath the basket from Dante Hall. 6 points the advantage for Olympiacos as Mike James deep in the shot clock once again. They've got to pull the trigger here. A really difficult field goal attempt, and Olympiacos gobbling up the defensive boards once more.
What a defensive possession by Thomas Walkup right there. He didn't give James anything, almost got to steal from behind. Stopped the three-pointer, made James give it up and then take a bad shot. And now, look at that.
Foul rocking the rim on the cut to the bucket, hooked up by Thomas Walkup. And Olympiacos completely steamrolling AS Monaco.
Hey, Ron,
a 22-2 third quarter thus far.
I'm pretty sure the real Olympiacos team got off the bus at halftime. I don't know who that first team was in the first 20 minutes of this game, but the other team got off the bus, the one we've seen all season, and we're checking them out right here in the third quarter. What a run.
AS Monaco struggling to put the ball in the basket. One fast break jam after 5 minutes and 40 seconds, and their body language, well, it's looking a little bit dispirited, and dare I say it, a little bit disunited. They've got to come together here and try and stem the flow of points that Olympiacos are creating. Down to the corner. Corner three, in and out. John Brown battling for the offensive board, but Olympiacos ensuring there's no second opportunity once again.
Yeah, but you saw Diallo got that ball and didn't shoot that in rhythm. He stalled a little bit. He waited, hesitated to take the shot. You want to take your shots in rhythm, don't hesitate. Again.
This is like a layup drill for Olympiacos Piraeus, and the fans clad in red and white of the team from the port city of Piraeus up on their feet and celebrating their successes.
Hey,
AS Monaco have got to respond. They're down by a double-digit deficit.
Hey, Ron, quick question for you. You're supposed to be the one asking me questions. By the way, who's the coach of the year?
That man who was last year, Mr. Georgios Martzokes.
Yeah, and what does he do at halftime? He makes sure that he has offensive players cutting through the lane. Stop shooting threes, guys. Let's get it inside, and let's get some easy baskets. Then we'll open up the floor. This third quarter is called third quarter Martzokes right here, because he's changed the way that Olympiacos played that first half.
Coach Martzokes, the first man to win back-to-back Alexander Gamelski Coach of the Year awards, and just the second person to claim 3 Alexander Gamelski Coach of the Year awards. And what an adjustment he must have made at halftime, and his team carrying it out to perfection, executing on both ends of the floor, whereas AS Monaco in complete disarray. Back iron on the three-point attempt from the top of the key. They have scored just 2 points in 9 minutes and 40 seconds of play. What a lockdown effort by Olympiacos.
Olympiacos wants to take this down to the end of the shot clock. There's only 4 seconds in the 4-second differential here.
So Laurent Zaikis, nobody challenged. Oh,
you're kidding
it is Olympiacos' night, surely. Gianoulis Laurent Zaikis lost the handle, got it, nobody closed out on him, and what did he do? Let it fly from long range and kissed it off the window. Bank Hopen here at the Jalgirio Arena, and the Olympiacos fans jumping for joy. Gianoulis Laurent Zaikis, the shot not contested by Alpha Diallo, and he drains it from downtown via the glass.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, the smartest player on the floor was by a young man that just came in the game, Mikhailis Launsis, who fouls on the possession so that they make sure Monaco doesn't get another possession. He was put in the game specifically for that reason. Banks home the 3, gets the foul, and they close out this quarter with a 13-point lead.
What a performance in the third quarter by Olympiacos. They're up by 13.
We've got some more prizes to give to you. Now you can win some great
Well, we're looking at the highlights, and the replay producer is going to have a hard time finding anything favorable for AS Monaco. They were dominated, 27 points to 2. A single solitary field goal coming after 5 minutes and 40 seconds. The only time that AS Monaco put the ball in the hole from either the field or the free throw line. And in stark contrast, Olympiacos getting easy buckets from all over the floor.
Yeah, that was the key. They were getting the easy looks. They got 2 or 3 easy looks early on. Then they went outside the perimeter. Then they came back inside again. It was just it was an offensive clinic by Olympiacos. Hey, let's not forget about their defense. They still had to shut down Monaco on the defensive side, including 3 shot clock violation possessions in 1 quarter, which is, most teams don't do that in 3 or 4 games, and they got to do it in 1 quarter. Look at the stats right there. You see them, Monaco just being dominated here. This is has to be a historic third quarter. I don't know what we got on third quarters here, Ron. I don't have it sitting in front of me, but I'd love to see it as Felipe Reyes is getting ready for a big one in another hour or so.
Well, the way that third quarter unfolded, it looks as though the winner of semi-final B is going to be facing Olympiacos Piraeus. The Madrid players looking on. Vincent Poirier, Gershon Yabusele on the sidelines. But my goodness, all of the momentum with Olympiacos. AS Monaco have got to respond here, because otherwise this could turn into an embarrassing, ignominious blowout.
Third quarter run, 8 for 9 from 2 points, 3 for 5 from 3 points for Olympiacos. 8 for 9 from inside the paint, and all of them, as you mentioned, during that third quarter were layups. It was a clinic going to the basket, and on top of that, they converted 3 out of 5 threes from deep. And now, Monaco's got their work cut out for them.
They are trailing by 13 after the type of third quarter that surely at this level, coaches and players only dream about. 27 points to 2. AS Monaco really struggling to put the ball in the hole. Sidestep 3 is landed. Elia Kobo, big bucket to take him to 11 points in the game, 2 of 5 from 3-point territory, and that reduces it to a 10-point deficit.
Yeah, not sure if you felt that. There was a half a second left on the shot clock right there also, so they were close to giving it up again.
Foul in the low post, wrestling with Dante Hall. Dante Hall is going to be called for the foul. But as they demonstrated, as we take another look at the foul committed by Dante Hall, between 2 men who don't look to stretch the floor in any way, shape or form, battle down on the towards the basket to get their buckets. But as they demonstrated in the first half, AS Monaco have the shot makers to wipe out this deficit in a heartbeat, but foul catching in perfect position, clearing out defenders with the chicken wing and slamming it down on the interior. Mustafa Foul moving to 8 points in the game, perfect shooting from the field.
And that's Kostas Sloukas giving up that rock to the big man down low.
So Foul with another rebound. Did an outstanding job on the boards in the playoffs, did Mustafa Foul. Averaging 7.2 rebounds per game. 2-3 zone being played by AS Monaco. Papa Nicolau for 3, off the back iron to the left. Dante Hall grabs the board.
One thing we didn't mention about that third quarter run, Ron, was the fact that Kostas Sloukas was on the bench through that third quarter. So not only did his team pick up a 10-point lead, he also got their best player, most important player down the stretch. A lot of rest.
So Mustafa Foul called for just his second foul. He's going to be able to continue to play really aggressively on the interior for Olympiacos Piraeus. So Elia Kobo to the free throw line.
You're right, you talk about Monaco being a surprise team here. I mean, it was really no surprise they made it to the Final Four. They almost made it last year, losing that 5th game, but right now, this is where experience comes in most. That second half of the semifinal game, Third quarter was not tough. They have to mentally prepare themselves for these last 8 minutes and try to inch their way back into this game somehow.
So McKissick one-on-one with Jordan Lloyd. Flat pass to Papa Nicolau, who attacks the lane, splits the gap, ball deflected out of bounds. And it's going to be AS Monaco basketball. Well, I'm not sure anybody can hang in the air for 2 seconds. That's defying gravity. Man, I think it was a little bit of rim involved when he got that fast break jam off the hookup from Jordan Lloyd off his steal. As a Kobo into the lane. Dante Hall beyond his shooting range. Difficult three-point attempt, almost broke the backboard. Dante Hall finishing through the foul after grabbing the offensive rebound. And it's two quick fouls in a row on Mustafa Fall. Outstanding effort, and maybe that's the way AS Monaco can keep the scoreboard moving.
You know, Ron, I was just going to say those are the kind of plays right there that get other teams back into the game, the hustle plays, get those 50-50 balls, put them back up, get the three-point play. You're stopping the clock, you're giving your team a little bit of rest, and you're reducing that deficit that you have right now. So that was a big possession for Monaco, I felt. If they can pick up a little bit of momentum now defensively and shut down Olympiacos on this side, they got a chance to make this a game in the last 2-3 minutes.
So Dante Hall short on the free throw, but gets his own offensive rebound, because that was a Karam that foxed everybody, kissed the underside of the rim.
He didn't move. He didn't move from the line. I don't know how that ball ends up in his hands.
So here's the extra possession. That's a goal. Well, is that a field goal attempt?
No,
I
don't think it was. I thought it was a lob pass maybe by James.
Batted out.
It never made it to the rim.
Getting the shooter's roll is Costas Lucas, and the double-digit lead restored. 11 points the advantage for Olympiacos. Euro step through the lane. Dante Hall surrounded by a trio of Olympiacos defenders. Jordan Lloyd kicks to Mike James, fakes the three, pull up three off one dribble, rattles around the rim. Joe Bolomboy with the rebound.
They are defending James so well right now. They're not giving him any easy looks. That was the easiest look he's had since the end of the first quarter.
So Slukas straight into the hands of Chima Monake, and it's another uncontested jam on the fast break for Elia Kobo. Single-digit deficit is what Elia Kobo has produced for AS Monaco as they continue to chip away. Timeout on the floor. It's Olympiacos Piraeus 60, AS Monaco 51. Well, the players fully locked in during the course of this semi-final. Olympiacos with the larger number of fans here in the Jalgirio Arena. But what a contrast we have had between the first and the second half, Joe, because in the first half, AS Monaco were rolling, ending the first half with a magnificent 8-1 run to go up by 12. And then look at that in the second half. It has been one-way traffic, courtesy of an outstanding 27 points to two-third quarter.
I think Olympiacos thought the game started at 7, Ron. that had to be what happened, because this is the most unbelievable difference that I've ever seen in one team and so quickly also, coming out of the second quarter. Olympiacos was not themselves. They came out. We talk about making adjustments. We talk about doing things differently in the second half. You talk about picking up intensity, defensively, offensively. Tell me what you want. That run is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. It's two totally different teams.
So just over 3.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. AS Monaco with the edge, 4-8 in their favor right now is, So 8-4 is what AS Monaco are leading in this fourth quarter. McKissick on the run. Nice catch, Sasha Vezenkov shakes off his defender. Spin move, rattles around the rim. Nice touch rebound, Mike James into the hands of Elia Kobo. AS Monaco now in their secondary break. Okobo met by a double team as Shaquille McKissick slouched over to help. Mike James looking to break down the defense with the dribble into the lane and gets the shooter's roll. Has it been touched in the cylinder?
Yeah, they called it a basket, though. I'm not sure they called this a basket or hole. Mike James might have got away with a little push-off right there as Dante Hall throws it down from inside the cylinder, but they gave that point to James, right?
Indeed.
And I like that offense right there by Monaco. They didn't wait. They didn't let Olympiacos set up that trap in defense, the switch in defense.
So Slukas using a screen from Joe Boloboy, cutting baseline and running a layup drill is Kostas Papanikolaou. Outstanding movement off the basketball. Olympiacos playing telepathically right now for another easy score on the inside.
It's the way they've played all season long, and they found it here in the second half. And you know, if you're Monaco trying to get back in the game, those are the shots you cannot give up.
What kind of play was that from Chima Monake? Made like a running back coming out of the backfield and just bowled his way through two defenders who had position. Wow.
I don't really know what he was looking at right there. Slukas with a beautiful dish. I'm still wondering about that play. I'm sorry, I can't focus there. He just put his head down and tried to go through two people. You call them a running man, I'm a running back man. I don't know, in rugby you have to dribble the ball once or twice, don't you?
Either way, transferring those skills to the basketball court and called for a foul as foul gets loose, count the bucket, and Mustafa Foul wrecking shop on the inside at the expense of AS Monaco.
And here's the play by Dante Hall, which is, it's okay to make that play, but somebody from the other side, Mike James or Kobo, has to come over and make sure that if you don't get that steal, you're going to block the path to the basket by Fall. You can't give Fall that easy of a look, but you talk about the last three plays that we've seen so far. The cut back door by Papanikolaou for the easy basket, Fall easy basket, and give me a running back's name. I'm an NFL guy. I should know somebody, right? And Monaco's play, you know, they just try to go through two defenders, and those are games. Those are situations, 30-second situations that make and break games.
So we're beyond the halfway stage of the final quarter. It's a double-digit lead as Jordan Lloyd doesn't get the shooter's roll, but he will go to the free throw line for two. Jordan Lloyd, 2 of 3 from the stripe so far.
You know, Olympiacos as a club has been here a million times, as we know. A lot of the guys on this team right now have been here a few times also. A lot of them haven't here, but they were here last year. And right now it's all about experience in this type of situation. Monaco has lost their focus in that second half. That big run by Olympiacos took the focus away from Monaco. Big George talked at halftime to Jordan Lloyd. They needed to keep making it uncomfortable for Olympiacos, but they made it more comfortable for them by letting them cut to the basket and get those easy looks. It's a tough road back right now for Monaco. They have to do it that way, hitting shots from the line and stopping that clock.
Indeed. So it's a single-digit deficit, McKissick handling. But AS Monaco having to work so hard for their scores. They're leading this fourth quarter by 4, 8-12 in their favor. As Slukas dumps it down to Foul, nice catch, and he rocks the rim once again, cutting down the lane and hooked up by Kostas Slukas for his 6th helper of the night. John Brown fighting for the offensive boards. Olympiacos secure it, and Kostas Slukas just slowing things down because the clock is the friend of Olympiacos right now and very much the foe of AS Monaco. They need points in a hurry. That's why they're double teaming near the sideline. Passing out of it and receiving the basketball back from Papanikolaou is Slukas.
But here's where you want your captain, Ron. Here's where you want that ball in his hands as much as you can. Go out throughout the end of this fourth quarter. But you don't want to see that look right there. You don't want to see your captain. He looks like he goes down on his elbow right there. I'm not sure if that was his left or his right elbow, but he went down pretty hard and took a shot.
So the Olympiacos Piraeus presidents in the house. And again, that is the wonderful thing about all sports in general and basketball in particular, what contrasting emotions they must be experiencing right now, because in the first half, they were being run out of the venue, down by a dozen at the halftime interval, only to come out as seemingly an entirely different outfit in the second half, more closely resembling the squad that secured the standings top spot at the end of the regular season. So we've got a timeout on the floor, which enables us to enjoy the 7 days magic moment. Comes from just a few moments ago on the hard disk. It's when foul got loose of Dante Hall, and there was no help forthcoming. Perhaps the AS Monaco guards taking a business decision, saying, I'm not getting in the way of that freight train that is on a mission to the rack. Mustafa Foul spinning off Dante Hall, finishing through the foul for the 7 days magic moment.
Around the presidents of Olympiacos are closing their Apple iPhone rings, iWatch rings right now in the second half, because I saw them in the first half. They never stood up. We have a clear vision of them here. In the first half, they never jumped out of their seats. Now it's like they're doing squats every time Olympiacos comes down on offense and defense. So they're closing those rings, if you know what I mean, Ron.
Most certainly, they've got something to celebrate. As the mayor of Kaunas in attendance here. First time that Lithuania has staged the Final Four. City where basketball means so much. And it's sold out in an instant. Žalgiris Kaunas not making it through to this part of the season, having been swept by Barcelona, having made it through to the playoffs. A magnificent effort by Žalgiris Kaunas.
My question, Ron, is how long do the travel agencies in Athens, Greece work tonight? Are they staying open all night or what? Because I see there's a lot of people coming now for Sunday night. I know we have 4 minutes left to go and anything could happen, but it feels like if I was an Olympiacos fan and I was back in Athens, I'd be calling my travel agent right now.
Sure, those seats are going to be very difficult to come by. Lead is 13. Looking to offload, but running into a tangle of arms extended by Olympiacos was Mike James, taken away to force Mike James into his second turnover, the first steal of the night for Mustafa Foul. As McKissick milking the clock. One-on-one with Alpha Diallo. Slukas deep into the shot clock. Standstill three-pointer is off the front rim. Rebound hauled in by Jordan Lloyd. So Mike James, double pumping in the air, he'll go to the free throw line for two. So stopping the clock, Mike James a perfect 5 of 5 from the stripe so far tonight. And these are big buckets here. Or big opportunities for Mike James just to remain in touching distance. And then it's going to require the three-point gunners of Lloyd or Mike James or Elia Kobo to catch fire, or at least get three-point plays the old-fashioned way, but they've got to get scores and stops in the remaining 3 minutes of regulation.
Yeah, as you're taking me through this game, I'm over here looking at some stats around the first half to right now, with Mike James going to the line. Monaco, who's 10 for 15 at halftime right now, 14 for 27. Make that 4 for 12 from 2, and get this one around 4 for 12 from 3 in the first half. Now sitting at 5 for 23, so that's 1 for 11 in this second half from Monaco from deep. And that's not missing shots. That's all about Olympiacos' defense.
So Mike James remains perfect from 15 feet away. He takes a seat on the sideline, probably going to get a quick breather before coming back for the rally in the remaining 3 minutes. We are in crunch time, but as things stand, the result doesn't appear to be in doubt, because Olympiacos have played with such solidity at both ends of the floor. Slukas inside to Foul. One-on-one with Moti Younes.
You saw Papaloukas cut again.
Turnaround hook is off the mark. Rebound hauled in by AS Monaco. Jordan Lloyd with his 7th rebound of the game. Elia Kobo driving on Foul. Corner three-pointer is short. And again, Olympiacos doing such an outstanding job on the boards. 9 offensive rebounds apiece. but the supply line from that regard for AS Monaco has really been shut off. Dante Hall and John Brown have battled. As they're traveling against Costas Lukas, and he can't believe it, saying, well, hold on, I've been tripped here. But no.
He said, did you see that three I made against Fenerbahce in game 3? He's like, come on, you can't knock me down like that. Another deflection and a terrible pass. Just a lot of miscommunication from Monaco. And that's, I keep going on that experience thing, and a lot of people think that it doesn't really exist. It didn't in the first half, but it does in the second half, and it has since that third quarter run by Olympiacos. What a way to come out of the locker room for the Greeks.
And it's momentum that they have maintained throughout, and that is why their fans are beginning their celebrations early. With just under 2 minutes remaining in regulation, Sasha Obradovic continuing to fight, so too his team out on the floor, edging this fourth quarter by 2, 12-14 in favor of AS Monaco. But who's going to the free throw line? Sasha Vezenkov, 1 of 2 from the stripe tonight, after going an incredible 16 of 16 from 15 feet away during the playoffs. Again, such contrasts evident between coaches in the same arena. So close physically, but in terms of emotion, they are miles apart right now, because Coach Bart Zokas knows that his players are executing to perfection. As Elia Kobo off the mark, Donatas Motiejunas with the offensive rebound and stick back.
Monaco trying to do anything they can, trap on that out-of-bounds full-court pressure. But when you have Costas Lukas and Walkup in the game, not too many turnovers. You're going to get a lot of open looks.
Deflection from Motiejunas. Short corner J is knocked down by Sasha Vezenkov, who moves to 19 points in the game on 5 of 8 shooting from 2.
And where was Vezenkov? We were missing him throughout most of this game, and I look over at the board at 19 points. Maybe that's why he's MVP, right?
Yep, doing it so efficiently.
And quietly.
Yep, silent assassin. 5 of 8 from 2, 3 of 4 from the line, 2 of 6 from downtown. The type of performance we've come to expect from Sasha Vezenkov this season. The league leader in performance index rating and points, second leading rebounder, and second in terms of 2-pointers made.
You know, I refuse, as we were researching this game, to go back and look at his stats from last year's semifinal game, because I know he had a difficult game. And not only did Sasha have a difficult game, but he also took that final play by Misic in the face, you know, in that 3-point play. So that was a really difficult moment for him. You know, right now I got to be happy for the kid. He's come back, he's got the MVP, and he came out here tonight and played a solid game. This is going to be this is probably one of the hardest games of his life mentally, to be prepared for this game. So congratulations to the 2023 MVP, Sasha Vezenkov, who's having himself a night here in Kaunas.
He most certainly is, as Thomas Walkup, 7 assists tonight, but this is first shot of any description. Hasn't taken a field goal attempt, and he's gone 0 of 1 from the line.
I had just as many shots as Walkup did a minute ago. But his defense in the third quarter on Mike James was one of the keys to that big run in the third.
Well, the Olympiacos fans performing the pogo up in the stands here at the Žalgirio Arena, because they are counting down their team's trip to the championship game. They have produced a remarkable effort in the second half, overturning a 12-point deficit after 20 minutes of play, punching AS Monaco squarely in the mouth to lock them down to just 2 third-quarter points, while they put 27 on the board. So it's likely to be a rather disjointed final 47 seconds. And because they limited AS Monaco to just 2 third-quarter points. AS Monaco, who came into this game averaging 83 points per game, or 82.9 to be precise, had been shackled to just 19 second-half points with 47 seconds remaining.
Amazing defense by Olympiacos. As we said, there's a whole new team that came out of that locker room in the second half, and Coach Bartzokas had a lot to do with that. And Kostas Lucas finishing off with a couple free throws right here, just building on that lead.
So 14 points the margin of advantage. Olympiacos' largest lead of the game. And AS Monaco being deafened by the decibel level being produced by the Olympiacos fans must have wondered what has hit them, what fate has befallen them. Donatas Motiejunas can't get the interior shot to fall. So, the final few possessions of this fourth quarter. Olympiacos intelligently spreading the floor.
These two guys that are passing the ball back and forth, they're combined for 14 assists between the two of them.
7 assists each for Thomas Walkup and Kostas Lucas.
And Walkup has done 7 assists in less than 18 minutes of play on the floor, Ron. That's pretty impressive. And we talked about him going out with that second foul in the first quarter, didn't return until after halftime. So a lot of those numbers he put up in the second half.
Well, those are the scenes among the Olympiacos Piraeus posse in the house here. Joel Bolomboy, with his first shot of any description, gets a point on the board.
As a matter of fact, those 7 assists came all in the second half. As I'm looking at the first half stats in front of me, Walkup he had 1 rebound in the first half and 2 fouls committed. That was his only stats in that first half. And he continued to play. 0 points, but 7 assists. And there goes your captain right there.
Kostas Lucas embracing Kostas Papanikolaou over on the sidelines and imploring the fans to give him more encouragement, more energy. As Elia Kobo tussling with Joel Bolomboy out on the perimeter. It will send Elia Kobo to the free throw line. It will be an opportunity for him to pad his stats. 3 of 6 from the stripe so far. But Olympiacos, what a turnaround. AS Monaco seemingly stunned into disbelief.
Yeah, they took a big punch in the first half and came back from it. That second half, that third quarter punch was a little bit too much. That was a gut blast that kept them. Again, he's going to the line right now. So they're 21 points here in the second half, only for Monaco. And this game is all over now. Big round, 14-point victory.
So there is the final horn and a handshake between the head coaches at half court. What a performance produced by Olympiacos Piraeus in the second half. They have completely shackled AS Monaco to just 21 second half points, including a remarkable run in the third quarter. A quarter where they entered down by a dozen and emerged with a 13-point lead thanks to a 27 points to 2 run. It's bitter disappointment experienced by AS Monaco in this, their first Final Four appearance. That shouldn't detract from what has been an absolutely extraordinary season and indeed remarkable rise for AS Monaco. But in this battle between cornerstones of the competition and the new kids on the EuroLeague block, it is experience that has prevailed. And Olympiacos Piraeus with a magnificent effort in the third quarter in particular, but in the second half more generally. And they romp into the championship game on the back of a 14-point victory over AS Monaco. After 4 quarters of play here at the Žalgirio Arena, we have a final scoreline of Olympiacos Piraeus 76, AS Monaco 62. And that is why it is the team from the port city of Piraeus who are engaging with their spectators here at the Žalgirio Arena, because they produced a comfortable double-digit victory where they produced lockdown defense and incredibly efficient offense in the second half.
Yeah, you know, Ron, it doesn't matter if it's your first time, your 5th time, your 10th time. This is the most disappointing loss in the season that you could possibly have in a semifinal game, other than the final championship game. But Monaco, you know, they've taken their bump and bruises along the way. They've had an incredible season, 2 incredible seasons, as a matter of fact. But you have to, this is the road, this is the journey to get to it. So I don't expect not to see Monaco back here next year, coming back and playing again another Final Four with this experience under their belt. I think this is a team that could do a lot of damage in the future.
So Sasha Vezenkov with an outstanding performance to lead all scorers with 19, 5 of 8 from 2-point territory, 3 of 4 from the stripe, 2 of 6 from downtown, along with 6 rebounds as well. But all in all, it was a team effort produced by Olympiacos, particularly at the defensive end, where in the second half, my goodness, they completely stymied the attempted offense that AS Monaco were looking to fashion, while on the flip side, they were getting themselves easy looks as though they were in a practice session.
Yeah, and you got to give a lot of love to Papa Nicolau, because not only did he lead the team with 8 rebounds, as you see him right there, he scored 15 points after having a tough start. We're going to check out our Adidas player of the game right here.
And it is indeed the Olympiacos Piraeus captain, Kostas Papanikolaou, who produced a magnificent display of 15 points, edging close to his Final Four high score, which came in the 2012 championship game against Barcelona. But here tonight, he was simply outstanding. Let's hear from him. A classy post-game interview from the Olympiacos Piraeus captain Kostas Papanikolaou, acknowledging the team effort, acknowledging how much the support from the rabid Olympiacos Piraeus fans means to the players, and congratulating AS Monaco on their magnificent effort and campaign. Let's hear from Coach Bartzokas of Olympiacos. So, the newly crowned Alexander Gamalski Coach of the Year for the 2nd year in succession, Coach Bartzokas explaining that it was a very calm locker room at the half-time interval, but however he communicated his message, my goodness, his players executed to perfection at both ends of the floor. 10 points off turnovers, only 2 points on the break, but healthy percentages from both 2-point territory and downtown. Let's hear from Sasha Vezenkov. So Sasha Vezenkov, the Afonso Ford Trophy winner, as the league's leading scorer, leading all scorers with 19 points in the game on efficient shooting from the field, along with 6 rebounds and a block shot as well. Well, it's always difficult to lose these fixtures. Let's hear from Sasha Obradovic, who has endured that tonight. Well, coach Sasha Obradovic bitterly disappointed and describing his team's play as sloppy, Joe, as we take a look inside the numbers which plummeted. 48% from two-point territory simply isn't going to get it done at this level.
Yeah, you know, you see the disappointment in coach's face, and he's got that look like, I need to get home and see this video. I need to get home and see where this went wrong. I'm not sure if you want to do this right now. I'm not sure if you want to do it another day, but at one point or another, you have to see where this went wrong for your team to make your team better. And he touched on the most important thing, Ron, experience. He felt as though that was a more experienced team coming out of half than his team, and that was proven here in the second half to the big win by Olympiacos.
Well, AS Monaco had plenty of reasons to be cheerful in the first half. He went up in at the halftime up by 13, but then, up by 12, but then in the third quarter, that was the only field goal scored by AS Monaco, and it took them 5 minutes, 40 seconds to find that fast break jam for Elie Okobo.
Yeah, that was the only thing they got out of it. Remember the 3 shot clock violations, the turnovers. It was just a mess of a third quarter. That was the worst 10 minutes I've seen that team play ever, because they have too many weapons to play like that.
So AS Monaco, with that 2 points on the board, ties the lowest score ever for a quarter in a EuroLeague game. And for that to come on the Final Four stage is surprising indeed, as we take a look inside the numbers.
It's hard to beat that one, isn't it? It's 2 points, Ron.
Really difficult third period endured by AS Monaco.
23 assists is the thing that I looked at that stands out the most. They had 9 at halftime, 14 in the second half.
And so, as we look at some bracketology, a 14-point victory for Olympiacos Piraeus sees them progress through to the left side of the Final Four bracket. Will they face FC Barcelona or Real Madrid, as we look forward to another installment of El Clasico? But Olympiacos Piraeus, the standings leaders, romping their way into the championship game. Bye for now.